everybody. Yeah! We're here. What's happening? Thank you we packed it out on a Sunday. What's up, everybody? Yeah! This mall can't handle us. I love it. Did you guys have a hard time finding this place? I sure did. I parked on the wrong side. And then I'm like, how do you enter the building? And then so we walked around, like there's like a Chuck E. Cheese type thing down there. We walked around that side, then we came up. Now we're underneath, like where the underground parking is. And I'm like, I'm sure there's an elevator. And there kind of was, but they were hiding it. And it was one of those elevators when you get in, you're like, wow, this might be the last elevator ride. And then it opened up, and I'm like, there's the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club of San Antonio, which is the biggest comedy club roof-wise I've ever seen. What did this used to be, like a rock climbing gym? What were they doing in here? It just had padded floor and people were climbing, and now they're like, oh yeah, comedy club, that's what we're doing in here. It's a good mix, man. It's very nice to be here. I think the last time I was here was like 2 years ago, so it's very nice to be back. Thank you for helping me fill up the place. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Rui and I made the drive-in from Houston, and we stopped at Buc-ee's because that's like my favorite thing. Yeah, I love Buc-ee's. Is my favorite. I think that's where we should send people new to the country so they can get acclimated with what America's all about. Like, I was trying to think of it, like, what's the new Ellis Island? And I'm like, Buc-ee's. It should be. Like, if someone's brand new from another country and they're like, what is America all about? I'm like, all right, come with me. We're going to go to a place between two big cities, and we're going to go to the biggest gas station known to man. It'll be in a small town. They'll have 1,000 employees, and you're like, I don't think there's 1,000 people that live in this town. Where the hell did these people come from? There's people in there singing, cutting meat. You can buy everything. There's a guy in a beaver outfit you can take a photo with. You can get a green novelty shirt with a cow on it that says, this heifer needs a vacation. That's a real t-shirt that I own. My wife hates it. I wear it a lot. All right? She hates that t-shirt. She tries to hide it from me, and I find it. Because it's neon green. It's hard to hide. But yeah, I went there. I just need to remember, the problem is I don't live out here, and I always forget to not eat the barbecue at the gas station because it gets me, you know. And I'm sure you guys grew up here, so you have the right bacteria in your stomach. You know how, like, when you go to another country and they're like, don't drink the water, you can't handle that. That's what it's like when I have the barbecue at Buc-ee's. Like, my stomach doesn't have the right enzymes to break that down. So I had a pulled pork sandwich at 3 o'clock, and I've been sipping ginger ale since, all right? It's been a problem. I'm just kind of nauseous, just kind of laying there. You know when you feel like that, and then you see other food, and you're like, if you show me food again, it's all coming out. Get the hell away from me. But yeah, injured. But it's a nice drive from here in Houston. A lot of nothing, nice and straight. Just speed limit 75, everyone's doing 100. I love it. Big trucks, bunch of flags. That is patriotism to another level. Just 5 versions of the American flag. Hell yeah. This one's to represent the police. This one's to represent the fire department. This is back when we only had 13 of them. Like, they got every version of the American flag, every tint, and then they got the yellow one, the Don't Tread on Me one with the rattlesnake, which is badass. I saw a big lifted truck with Don't Tread on Me flag, and then he used his blinker to change lanes, and I'm like, come on, man, you gotta... Are we outlaws or are we not outlaws? Truck looks like you drove out of Mad Max. Keep up with the character. Can't be over there checking your blind spot with a Don't Tread on Me flag. That doesn't work. Yeah. But it's fun. I like it, you know. I know we're in weird times and certain states are like, whoa, but every time I go to a state, I'm like, I love it. I don't know. I get comfortable and I'm just like, yeah, I want some of this, you know. I want what you guys, I don't know what you guys do, but I want some. Like last night's show, there was like a dad, father of five, kind of looked like you, like a burly dude that looks like he like hunts without a gun, you know? And I said that on stage. I'm like, you look like you hunt without a gun. People laugh like they did now. And after the show, he showed me a photo. He's like, I do hunt without a gun. And he hunts with like a spear, like a big knife on a stick. And I'm like, oh my God. I meant that as a joke, but that is how you hunt. You just chase down, and that's crazy because he likes my comedy. So I just picture this guy in the woods of Texas chasing down a wild boar with and then blood everywhere, and then he comes back to the campsite, just wiping blood off and pulls out his phone, and it's just me talking about cats or something. And he's like, oh, this guy, I like this guy. This guy. Still a little blood in my eyebrows there, but that made me feel good that someone that was hunting with a spear is into what I do. Isn't that, you ever do, like, someone came up to me and they're like, I have a PhD in psychology and I like the comedy that you do. And that made me feel so good because I never went to college. And I was like, that's like I kind of went, right? And she's like, what? I'm like, well, you did. She said she wrote a thesis paper on one of my jokes, and I was like, that's like I was there. And she's like, not really, but I was there. And I was like, don't take this away from me, all right? I had a 2.75 GPA at a high school. I need this. I don't have a college degree. I have a YouTube plaque. That's what I have. That's the only thing I have on my wall that shows people like know anything. I know how to upload. Still feeling nauseous. I feel it. Yeah, you might want to pull that back a little. I love doing everything on the table. You're like, well, let me protect the beer. Not going to ruin a Dos Equis because this guy doesn't know how to stay away from the gas station barbecue. It is weird that I go eat the meat over there. Like, it's a gas station, and it's named after a beaver, and they're selling meat, and I'm like, what could go wrong? I love it. They sing in there, I-ho, we chop the meat. I don't know the song, but they sing. They're such good employees over there. Where do they find those people? I don't know, because it's such a small town. Like, do they import them in? Do they? Like, they have a shuttle, and then they... Wow, like airport employees, like they shuttle them in. That's incredible. They must be from somewhere. But yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that's ever thought of that, because it's the smallest town ever, and it's the biggest store I've ever seen. And you're like, where the hell do these people come from? Are we sure they're people? Are they not like, if you look close, is there like a Tesla tattoo on the back of their neck? I-ho. I don't know. That one's a cyborg. There we go. That's all right. Is that something you get in a phone call? Oh, yeah? That's all right. You can answer it now. You're so polite, you pulled it right off. A lot of times there's alarms that go off at my shows because my audience takes medication. And different types of medication. Blood pressure, whatever, I don't know, whatever kinds of meds there are. And so it's always fun when that goes off. It's like, oh, this is the time you take your meds. And they're always at weird times, like 8:49. And you're like, what a weird time. It has to be specific. If I don't time this out right, then I'll nod off before I get home. Because that's what I need. I drug myself every night with an edible. They put weed in gummy bears, which I know is illegal here, so we'll keep it down. I didn't know it was. I brought it up in Houston. They're like, that's not legal here. And I'm like, oh, it isn't? Even the gummy bear kind? And they're like, yeah, it's all illegal. You can't do it. And then someone in the back was like, the only thing legal here is guns. And I was like, all right. Well, what if you put the gummy bear... like into the gun, because then can you? Because then that's like a Second Amendment issue, right? Like that's not. Second Amendment says right to bear arms. It didn't say what I got to load it with. All right. If I load it with the 10 milligram sativa, that's what the forefathers would have wanted. All right. They want me to giggle before I fall asleep. There's fun, man. Scary times out there. I was watching all the stories about the drones. Have you been seeing that? There's drones in like New Jersey and New York, and people know nothing about it. And the FBI even asked for like people. They're like, if anyone has any information. I'm like, you're the FBI. You have all the information. Dude, they're drones. Just go to the park, find the dork. Like, it's not that hard. I know what he's gonna look like. Is there a Honda Fit nearby? He came out of that. I think it's so funny that they can't find these drones. Just follow them, dude. They'll go down and be like, that's the guy right there. Some shifty guy. It's like drones are like what laser pointers used to be in the late 90s. Remember laser pointers? You could like annoy your teacher or try to blind Kid Rock at a concert, you know? And people would be like, where the hell's that laser pointer coming from? And just someone in. That's what's going on with these drones. Some dork at a park. They'll never find me. I'm on the lam. They'll find the drones if it ever goes after a CEO or something. Then it would be like, we found it in 2 seconds. They found the guy, which is a good thing. I'm glad they found the guy. But they had so much footage of that shooter. And I lived in New York, and a lot of people got shot every day. And they're like, we have no evidence. And when that dude got shot, they had angles I'd never seen before. They're like, oh, he left on an e-bike, then took a left, then he took a right, and then we had a GoPro out of the sewer. We saw him. You and me get shot. They're like, he was on an e-bike. That was too fast. Like, what do you want us to do? That guy's gone. He's out of state by now. That stuff matters, man. But yeah, I'm happy to be on this trip. It's nice to get a break from home because we just went through a move. We moved from New York back to San Diego. And so now it's just my wife's loving it. She's decorating the new place we moved into, and I'm just trying to get rid of the boxes and the styrofoam. That's the job as a man. New stuff comes in, and then she's like, isn't this great? And I'm just looking at the box going, we don't have room. So I'm just storing trash. That's what I'm doing. I'm storing trash, and I hate it. I hate all of it. I don't like who I'm becoming. I don't know. Is anyone else going through that? Like, you see who you're becoming, and you're like, this wasn't the plan. Like, I grew up poor in the trailer park, and life's going better now, but I don't like what's happening. Like, now I live in the suburbs. We own a Tesla. I wear barefoot shoes now. You know those shoes, they have, like, no sole. They're supposed to be good for your back and your posture and your foot health. And they have less material than regular shoes, but they cost 3 times as much for some reason. And they cost that much because they know if you have time, just click on that ad. They're like, you have some money to burn. Why don't we sell you some thin rubber shoes for no reason? And we got a juice cleanse, and we were heading to pick up a juice cleanse while in a Tesla, and I looked at my barefoot shoes, and I turned to my wife, and I'm like, I think I hate myself. Who the hell is this guy? This was never the plan. And then we got to the place for the juice cleanse, and our juice cleanse wasn't ready. They said be there by 2, and we showed up at 2:45, and they're like, oh, it's not ready yet. My wife and I were like, can you believe this? And she was about to say something, and then I looked down at my shoes and saw the Tesla, and I was like, no, baby, we're the villains here. This is classic villain right here. Nothing wrong with the real estate agents. They're good people, but that's not. What do you do? Homeschool mom and a newspaper reporter. And an army wife. Good Lord, that's a hell of a business card. You got to flip that card over and read the rest on the back. That's impressive. Why, and a news reporter. I'm glad this show's going well. There might be an article in the San Antonio, how do you do, about... I don't know what your newspaper's called. The San Antonio Tribune. What is it called? The Express. Sounds like a bus or something. The San Antonio Express. I like it. That's so cool. You're a reporter. In Killeen? I've been there. That military base town. Yes. I did a show out there. It wasn't on a military base. It was at a nightclub. This was like over a decade ago. It was in a nightclub, and they had a giant dance floor, and they made a stand in the middle, and I thought they would put chairs on the dance floor. They didn't. They had people hang out. They horseshoed around us like I was singing the national anthem at a hockey game. And we had to do comedy with the audience and it did not go well. I will tell you that right now. Killeen, Texas. That was, oh man, what a blast. Yeah. I remember there was like a strip club really close to an elementary school. Is that... I brought that up. And no one seemed to be bothered by it, all right? Right in the middle of the dance floor, I'm like, hey, you guys got that strip club pretty close to that school? And they're like, what of it? And I'm like, all right, dude. I want to get out of here with my life. Oh, I'm so glad I talked to you, because you made me remember a really vivid memory. It was so hard to get out there. Oh, the check bounced. I remember that. It wasn't a big check. It was $400, but $400 to me then was like $4 million. So I was like, please send it again. But yeah, Killeen, Texas. Thanks for making the drive out to come see me. I appreciate that. That's a hell of a laugh. Whoever's got it's a good chuckle. Never lose that. Look at you. You finished a YouTube video. I'm proud of you. You know, I normally don't finish YouTube videos. I watch 30 seconds, then I'm on to something else, then I grab something to eat, but not you. You're not a quitter. And I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And also go to zoltancomedy.com and see where I'm performing. Come see me live. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm in a rental car. This is where I live. Hotels, rental cars, highways, byways, planes, trains, and automobiles. This is supposed to be a short video. Thank you for watching. zoltancomedy.com.